Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss the next part of physical quantities and measurement, part 4. Here today we are going to discuss the measurement of temperature. So what is actually temperature? If you touch a piece of ice, you feel cold. But if you touch a hot kettle, then you feel hot in the tip of your finger, isn't it? So temperature is nothing but it is a measure of degree of hotness or coldness of an object. How cold that object or how hot that object, temperature actually determines that one. So temperature is the measure of degree of hotness or coldness of an object. So the international unit, SI unit is Kelvin, according to the name of the scientist Lord Kelvin, and which is represented by the letter capital K. This is not the small k, this is the capital K. Okay. Another two units are there which are also widely accepted by all over the world, but these two are not the international unit. First one is the degree Celsius. Symbolically it is represented, that is the degree C or degree centigrade, and another one is the degree Fahrenheit, degree capital F. So Kelvin international unit, this is the symbol K, degree Celsius degree capital C, and degree Fahrenheit degree capital F. So these are the units and this is the definition of temperature. Now you see I am writing here capital T equal to small t plus 273. This is the actually the relation between the Kelvin scale with the Celsius scale. Here capital T represent the Kelvin scale and small t represent the centigrade scale or the Celsius scale. So if you know the temperature of Celsius scale, you just add 273 with that, you will get the value of the temperature in absolute scale or the Kelvin scale. Absolute scale you will learn in the higher class. This scale, this capital T or this Kelvin, it is termed as the absolute scale. Okay. So let us consider, you know the ice point of water, it is 0 degrees Celsius. So if you add with 0 273, it gives 273. So the temperature in Kelvin scale for the ice point of water is 273 Kelvin. Now if you think about the steam point of water, you know that 100 degrees Celsius is the steam point. So add 273 with 100 degrees Celsius, that will give you 373 Kelvin. For example, if you say the 27 degrees Celsius, now change it to the Kelvin scale. So just add 27 plus 273 Kelvin, it gives you the temperature 300 Kelvin. Now you see that I am not giving the degree sign over here. So whenever you are expressing the temperature in the Kelvin scale or SI unit, there should be no degree symbol. Okay, but degree Fahrenheit, degree centigrade, you have to give the degree sign. But whenever you have to express the temperature in the absolute scale or in the Kelvin scale, there should be no degree sign. You may express the absolute scale, I am repeatedly telling that one, you may express that 300A. 300A and 300K both are same. This A stands for the absolute scale. That means the temperature of that particular object is 300 Kelvin. That is in the Kelvin scale. Okay. Now, what is the relation between the centigrade scale and the Fahrenheit scale? 1 degree Celsius equal to 9 by 5 degree Fahrenheit or 1.8 degree Fahrenheit. Another relation is there, that is C by 5 equal to F minus 32 by 9. Here it is another relation between the centigrade scale and Fahrenheit scale. If you know the temperature of centigrade scale, place the value here and find the value of F. If you know the temperature of F, then place the value of here and then find out the temperature in the centigrade scale. C by 5 equal to F minus 32 by 9. And now we are going to discuss the device which is used to measure the temperature. You are familiar with that one, that is the thermometer. In thermometer, in centigrade thermometer, there are the two extreme point. One is the lower point, lower fixed point, which is 0 degree Celsius, and another is the higher fixed point which is 100 degrees Celsius. So what is the difference between 100 and 0? 100 equal divisions are there. And if you think about the Fahrenheit temperature, the lower fixed point is 32 degree Fahrenheit and upper fixed point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So the difference between these two is 180 degree. So the difference between the upper fixed point and the lower fixed point for a Fahrenheit thermometer is 180 divisions are there. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the thermometer, the normal thermometer which is used to measure the temperature. Two kinds of the thermometers are there. One is the lab thermometer and another is the clinical thermometer. Now from the name it is obvious that the lab thermometer is used to measure the temperature of different objects in the laboratory. And the clinical thermometer, which is the domestic purpose we are actually use this one to measure the body temperature of a human being. And this clinical thermometer, it is actually either in the, it is found in the or the doctor's thermometer. It is actually in the Fahrenheit scale. The range, the lower range is 95 degree Fahrenheit and the upper range is 108 degree Fahrenheit or 110 degree Fahrenheit. And in the Celsius scale, the lower range is 35 degrees Celsius and the upper range is 42 degrees Celsius. Why? Because for a normal person, the temperature should not be below 95 degree Fahrenheit and not more than 110 or 108 degree Fahrenheit. Because actually if the temperature of a person is more than 105 degree Fahrenheit, it is that means the condition of the patient is very severe. So that is the extreme point. 105 degree temperature Fahrenheit, it's a severe patient. Severe fever is there. So this is the range of the temperature for the clinical thermometer, which is actually doctor's thermometer and which is actually segregated in the Fahrenheit scale. You will better know that this is the clinical thermometer. You see, this is the clinical thermometer. Clinical thermometer, here it is the clinical thermometer. You see here it is 94, the lower range, and the higher range is 108 degree Fahrenheit. And you see that this one, that is the thread inside, and this thread is mercury. Mercury is used as the thermometric liquid. Mercury is a liquid metal. Okay, so if you place the thermometer, this is the bulb of the thermometer, and if you place the bulb of the thermometer in your arm, under your armpit or inside your mouth for 2 to 3 minutes, it will acquire the body temperature and it shows. Now this then what actually happened by absorbing the heat, the thread of the mercury, it moves and it shows the temperature. Okay, now you see this one. This is 8. 8 means it is 98, and you see that arrow, this arrow is there, arrow. So this red arrow, it reveals the normal body temperature. It is here in my thermometer, it is 98, this is 8, and there after that the two rooms are there, two division. One room is equal to 2, so 2 into 2, 4. 1 room is equal to 3, so 3 into 2, 6. So 98.6 degree Fahrenheit or 98.4 degree Fahrenheit. Around the range of 90. According to the doctors, 99 degrees Fahrenheit temperature means your body temperature is normal. 99 degrees Fahrenheit temperature is not at all a fever. Okay. Now you see that at the mouth of this the clinical thermometer, a slight bend is there. This bend is known as the constriction. Why? Whenever any object, whenever you place the thermometer to measure your body temperature, then by absorbing that temperature from your body, the mercury threads will increase and go to that side to indicate your body temperature. Now whenever you remove that thermometer from your body, then there is a chance that the room temperature is less or it may vary. So there is a chance that the contraction of the mercury column may take place. So to avoid this, a slight bend, that constriction is there. This particular constriction that that is a restriction. That means so that whenever you remove the thermometer from your body, the mercury thread that do not easily fall to the bulb again. So it actually holds the actual body temperature when you remove the thermometer from your body. So this is the function of the constriction, and it is just at the mouth of this thermometer. This is the mercury bulb and this is the thread, and here that constriction, a slight bend is there. Okay, now whenever you want to down the temperature, then what you have to do, you have to place the mercury column at the downside and you have to shake that in that way. So by manually you have to cross that barrier so that the mercury column can come down. Okay, so this is the thermometer, and this drawing of the clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Practice these two kinds of the drawing. Drawing of thermometer is important. So today up to this much. Thank you.